Okay, we are just about getting ready to get started here. It is absolutely wonderful to see everybody, man. We got a lot checking in. Everybody's got the chat box lit up today. And thank you for everyone asking about the rain. Yes, it's raining. Yes, it's crazy. I've never seen anything like it in my life, but that's okay. We're going to get through. And, I'm a lot better off than the people in Houston are. So they are flat getting it down there and have been for a few days. But everything's going to be good. It's great to see everyone this evening. We're going to continue with our sales training, and we are going to roll right along with that. And then we're going to go into, I'm not going to take all the time tonight with the sales training. Then we're going to go into some 2.0 training. Kenny Dutton says he's in the house, and it's good to see Kenny Dutton in the house. When I don't see Kenny Dutton in the house, and that's when I get worried. And it's a pleasure to see Kenny and Will and everybody that's checking in, Jerry, everybody that's on tonight. But I want to thank everybody for the great concern about the weather and everything that's going on. But we're going to get into training, and we're going to roll right along here. And it's good to see everybody. And we're going to do some 2.0, just some quick training tonight as to go over a couple of things and show you how to create some buttons and do some things with 2.0. And then we'll wrap up about 45, 50 minutes. Not going to make it a long night. I think it's better. It's everybody kind of stays engaged when we don't drag it on and drag it on. So we're going to rock and roll this evening. I will remind you at the end, but stay tuned next week. Next week, special guest, Jack Hopman, who is the kid spying websites, and he's going to come on you some exciting. If you not miss a training, do not miss next Wednesday's training. It's going to be absolutely awesome and very, very powerful. And you're going to love what he shows you and the tools that he has. He's got people that are selling websites for upwards to $1,000 a piece. And I mean, I'm talking great websites, phenomenal websites. And his software is unbelievable. So we're going to have Jack on next week with us. And man, I cannot wait. Just a super, super guy from Boca Raton, Florida. I think he's from the Netherlands, actually, but he's from Boca Raton. So, but it's good to have everybody, and we're going to go ahead now, and I'll remind you at the end of the training, but put it on your calendar now for next week, and we are going to rock and roll. Let's go ahead and get started. We're ready to go, and the house is full, and we're going to get our Wish Unite coaching session going. For all of you that are here that this is the first time, and we always have a bunch of new people that are in. It's great to see you. It's great to have you, and welcome to our Wednesday night coaching session. My name is Kerry Miller, and I have been training here at Instant App Wizard for the last 3 years, and I love every minute of it. Real quick, let's get the housework out of the way. If you have not joined our YouTube channel, join our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Instant App Wizard. That's youtube.com/Instant App Wizard. And that's where all of our training goes up to first. And that way you get that email and you know it's there, and you're ready to go. And like us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Instant App Wizard. And also, if you have not signed up for our text messaging, and I know many, many, many of you have, sign up for our text message for the training at 727-478-1343 and just text app call, all lowercase, APPCALL. That way you'll know exactly when training is getting ready to go. Chris Yeago's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. And our Facebook group, if you have not joined our Facebook group, a lot of great information in our Facebook group. Very, very, very powerful. And it's always a great place to get good information and share data. And we have a lot of great resellers in our group that will help you along with our Instant App Wizard team. But what a wonderful place. Now, you do have to be a member of Facebook in order to join, but please join and be a part of the family. It's a great place to be, and it's a great thing to do. So come on and be a part of the Instant App Wizard family in our Facebook group. Tonight, we're going to start right off with our sales training, and we're going to talk about curiosity tonight. And you know, as the old saying goes, curiosity kills the cat. Kenny Dunn says, Elvis is in the house. I hear you, Kenny. And curiosity always kills the cat. And we have to build curiosity in our product. Irregardless of what that product is, if you're not curious and you don't want to see more and you're bored and it's something that you just don't want to be a part of, then the sale is pretty much done pretty quick. Hey, what's up, Andrew? Hey, Andy, how you doing, buddy? And the sale's over and it's done and there's nothing else you can do about it. And so you've got to build curiosity as you're building rapport, and they're excited to see the program, and they're going to be excited what you as their consultant can do for them. In the previous step, we have actually been trying to sell ourselves. And as we try to sell ourselves and talk about ourselves, we know that we are out there to reach in and touch them and make them do what? We're there to make them love us. We're there to make them like us. And we're there to make them care for us. And that's exactly what we want to do. And that's exactly what that step of the sell is for. And we're going to want to make our prospects hungry to hear exactly what our next proposal is going to be. We want to make sure that they are excited about what we are going to say next. And without that, what do we have? Really nothing. Everything is kind of dead. So we want to get them excited. We want to make them happy. We want to make sure that everything is rocking and rolling. And we want to make sure that everything is going as planned. And we want to keep control of that sale. And we want to make them hungry. Just like when you come home and you've had a long day out on the road and you've been selling and everything's happening and everything's rocking and rolling, you're hungry. And what does your wife do? Or the person that you're with, or whoever cooks your meal, whether it's McDonald's or at home, when you walk in, they're there to satisfy you. And they're there to fill that belly. And they're there to make sure that everything you do is what? Makes you feel good. So you're there to make them hungry to hear your proposal. And hopefully at this point, that's where you're at. This step is missed by more salespeople than any other out there. It's easy enough to conclude, however, that if the prospects are not interested in what we're talking about, we're wasting our time. We are wasting our breath. There's really no reason for us to be there. And if you miss this step and you walk out with your head down and you say, man, where did it go wrong? This is probably where it went wrong. There was no curiosity built up. There was no hunger for that proposal to come. You did not have anything to give that prospect because somewhere you lost him and you did not build up that curiosity. The curiosity step will arouse their interest and give them a reason to pay attention. How many of you have been driving up and down the road and all of a sudden traffic is starting to slow down? And you're wondering what the heck is going on up there, and you pass by and somebody's had a wreck, and everybody has almost come to a standstill, and back in Texas, we call them rubberneckers, and everybody's almost come to a standstill, and everybody's curious. What the heck happened? Your curiosity was aroused when you started slowing down 5 miles back, and you could not wait to get to the accident to see what happens. You see, you had a reason to pay attention because you knew something was coming. And because you knew something was coming, you had this sense of arousal, man. You were excited. You were anxious to see what you was about to see. Your prospect has to have that same excitement. Your prospect has to be excited about what you're about to. Your prospect wants to be curious enough to where he wants you to say, man, give me some more. I need to hear more of what you're talking about. Show me what you have. And that's the kind of curiosity we want to build. We briefly mentioned that professional sales reps use a series of bridges. Tell rep, you don't need to use a script, okay? You need to stick with what you're doing and what you know, but you need to keep the flow of the sale going. And the purpose of a bridge is to provide a smooth flow of conversation from one step of the sale to the next. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to provide a smooth sale. You've got to provide smooth flow from one part of the conversation to the next. I can't really turn my volume up anymore. I got a little bit closer to the mic, Andy. I hope that helped. But you've got to provide that smooth flow of the conversation from one step to the other. The verbal bridges from conversation to curiosity. The first verbal bridge is used to make the transition from conversation to curiosity. The bridge used is the following. The reason I mentioned this, we have a way for you to get your want and your need, which what? Gets that DBM. And you want to make sure that you expose, that you reach down and you touch, and they know that you know exactly what that dominant buying modem is. John, the reason I mention this about your business, we have a way for you to increase your sales. We have a product that you can use to fulfill your needs that's going to allow you to grow your business exactly how you want it to grow. And you've got to touch all those points. Once again, you've got to make sure without question, okay, without question, that they know, you know exactly what they want, what they need, and how that's going to make them feel. The dominant buying motive, never forget that. Most salespeople never know what a person's dominant buying motive is. The idea of the bridge into curiosity is to make the prospects hungry to hear more as you tell them that they can realize, okay, that they can visualize, that they can see. As you're talking to them and you've built that curiosity, they can realize that want. Carrie wants more business. Carrie's in kind of a depressed area and business has kind of moved away, but Carrie's got a great product that all of his customers loved, and he needs to figure out how to bring them back and to increase the traffic flow at his store. What Carrie needs is a great marketing plan, a great marketing platform, a great mobile app, a great website. He needs all the tools. He needs social media. He needs social marketing, and he needs someone to take him there. And when Carrie gets that, it's going to make him feel like he owns the world. And you've got to make sure that when you talk to them, that they can feel that and that you see their curiosity rising and that you can see that spark in their eye, and you know exactly where they're coming from, but more importantly, they know where you're going. An example would be as follows. The reason I mentioned this is that we have a way for you to get the increase in business and increase your revenue so you can continue to grow and do the things that you want to do, which, John, you said you wanted to spend more time with your family. You wanted to go on more vacations. You needed the revenue to be able to do that and have someone watch your shop. So you just reiterated all those things. You just ensured that that is what he wants. And at this point, you want your prospect thinking or even saying, tell me more. Could you give me just a little bit more? See, you're piquing that curiosity. You've got him right where you want him. Have you ever been talking to someone, and maybe even yourself, you were out and that's right, sell the sizzle. Sell the sizzle and not the steak. Thank you, Chris. That's exactly right. Sell the sizzle and not the steak. Hey, David Craig, how you doing, buddy? I hope you're not floating away down there. But you got to sell the sizzle, and they want to hear the sizzle, and they want to smell the sizzle. Okay? And they want to feel the sizzle. They want to feel the heat coming off the griddle. And when you have them leaning over, and you need to watch body language. And there's many, many videos. Go on YouTube about body language. And you can see so much training on body language. Crossing the arms means that you lost their attention. Their arms out by their side and they start bending over so that they make sure they don't miss anything means that you have built curiosity. Watch a person's eyes. Are they looking at you? Are they intent? Do you have their undivided attention, or are they looking at the pictures on the wall? Are they looking out at the hallway? I used to always close my door when I had someone in for an interview. I wanted to make sure I had their undivided attention and that if someone was walking up and down the hallway, they weren't distracted. Distractions can kill a sale in 15 seconds. That's why when you're setting the appointments, that's why when you're putting everything together, you need to make sure and just ask them, John, do you have 30 minutes you can set aside that you are not distracted and we can talk about exactly what you need to get this done? You see, a sale is not always right now. Wouldn't we love to walk into a building, into a business, and know exactly that we're going to make that sale right that minute? You know, do you have the decision maker? Do you have the person that can write the check? You know, we talked about that blueprinting and talked about knowing that you've got the person there that can actually make the decision. And that doesn't always happen. 99% of the time it doesn't happen. You know, when we make that sale that on the spot and everything works perfectly, man, we get all excited. And we know that everything is happening. And you know that without question that the person you have is the person who's going to make the final decision. But it just doesn't always happen. But what you have to do is make sure that that person you're talking to can convey through their own excitement that they can share the sizzle of the steak to make sure your product is conveyed to the person that they're going to be talking to, who's going to make the final decision and tell them whether to buy or not buy. And you've got to have them right there at that moment, at that point, at that time, saying this, tell me more. Now, they may not come right out and say, tell me more. They probably won't come right out and say, tell me more. But you have to be able to read that in them, that they are wanting more. You have to be able to see it in their eyes. You have to be able to see it in their body movements. You have to be able to see it in their body language, that when they're leaned over that desk and you're talking, that it's time now to start giving them the steak. It's your time to start giving them the product. Conviction. Conviction is such a powerful thing. Conviction is the one thing that you have to get them to the point of for them to make that buying decision. They have to be convicted that they know in their heart that you have exactly what they want. The next step of the prospect is now anxious, okay, to hear how we can satisfy the want, the need, and the dominant buying motive. It's to the point of the sale where he is so overwhelmed and so overjoyed that you have the answers to his problems that it's just, he just wants to reach out and hug you. He wants to reach out and kiss you. He wants to reach out and say, dude, thank you so much for being here today and changing my life forever. And you've not even got to that point yet, but he's got to feel that conviction in his heart that you are the man or the woman who's about to change his world forever, and that you can satisfy exactly what he wants. What does he want? What have we talking about his want all week? And it's what most business owners want. They want more customers. They want exactly what we want, more business. I mean, do we not, each and every one of us, want more qualified customers? Do we not want more business so that we can generate what? More revenue. Why do we want more customers? Because we need a stronger cash flow. We need to build a new office. We need to pay for the staff that we hired when we were busy. We need more customers. Okay. We want more customers. We need more revenue. And how's that going to make us feel? Let me ask you, and you guys post in here, and it's going to come in just a little bit delayed. Let me ask you a question. You want to go out and make a sale every day. And you want to do that because you need the income. When you go out and make that sale, and they write you that check, and you receive that income for the day, and you know you're taking the bacon home, how does that make you feel? And be honest, how does it truly make you feel to get that check, go to the bank, put it in, go home and build that app? How does it make you feel? I know how it makes me feel. I was just telling Woodrow today, I want a contest. I want a contest, and I want the new software package that come out, the social software package that you can do contests with. It's called Social Contest. And I got the email yesterday, and I love to win. It doesn't have to do with anything else except I love to win. And I sent the emails out to many of you, and I posted it in a bunch of Facebook groups. And I mean, off the bat, I jumped up to the lead. I mean, I was like 300 points ahead of everybody for hours. And I was so excited, man, and I felt so good because I was winning. And then I woke up this morning, and this guy named Mike, he started creeping up on me. And he was 100 points behind me. And it was like, whoo! So David Craiglow says it makes me feel less hungry, and he was sneaking up on me, and there was 12 minutes left in the contest, and I felt like I was running a 440 relay, and I was the last leg of the relay, and I was getting ready to get the baton, and man, I had to beat feet around that track because I wanted to win, and I was excited about it. And that proved to me, proved to me first off that my will to win is still there, but number two, that was a great piece of software because it did exactly what it did. It built this excitement in me, okay? And I was sitting there watching it, and let me tell you something. When they announced that I had won that contest, I felt like I had just won $1 million. I was that excited. Your customers need to feel the same way. They need to feel that conviction, okay? They are anxious to hear that they have won. They want to hear that they have won that lottery and you're there to deliver that ticket. They want to hear how we can do exactly what we say we're going to do. You are first and foremost, and always will be, that consultant, okay? You are there to help them solve their problems without question. And they want to know exactly how you can do that. In this step, we will provide a presentation of a conviction unit and evidence to convince our prospect that our proposal will solve his or her problem. They have to know, and you've got to present to them evidence that what you have is going to solve their problem. And you all know how I feel about taking in all these PowerPoint presentations and all this elaborate stuff. When you have the tool in your hand to close those 3 to 5 sales a day, it's called a smartphone. That's where your evidence comes from. And I tell you this all the time. If you want to see somebody's eyes light up, make sure you have texting on your phone and show them how the marketing platform works. And you have to do no more. You've just given them the greatest evidence in the world. Why? Because when their phone goes off, when they sign up for your list, your marketing list, and their phone goes off and they see how quick that just worked, guess what? Bam! The evidence is in their hand. And you see it on their face because they say, wow, that's exactly what I'm looking for. How cool is that? And they know that what you've got, because they just saw it work, will solve his or her problem. Bridges from curiosity to conviction. The bridges from curiosity to conviction. Sorry, I had to grab a drink of water. There are 4 bridges that are provided to provide a smooth flow into the conviction step. Your choice is optional, and any combination that works for you will accomplish the purpose. You don't want to look like a robot when you're speaking to your clients. You don't want to look rehearsed. Just like I'm talking right now, and when I go through the flow, and I've done this for over 20 years. I've used these sales steps for over 20 years, and I know they work, and they're tried, and they're proven. Zig Ziglar didn't just put this stuff out because it didn't work. People have been using it for years, and I still use it to this day. And your choice is optional, and you want it to feel comfortable, and you want to go through the flow, okay? And when you go through the flow, you want it to sound natural. Carrie, I understand how you feel. Others have felt the same way until they found, and that is part of the sales process. And I say that just as smoothly, just as easily as I say any other sentence in my toolbox. Your choice is optional, and any combination that works for you will accomplish the purpose. Jim, based on what you told me, that you needed more customers. Or Jim, based on what you told me, you want more customers so that you can get more revenue, so that you can do those things that you're wanting to do, send your children to college. Is that what you want? Absolutely. Is that what I'm hearing you say? This is what you need to accomplish? That's what I need, Carrie. Jim, you mentioned earlier that you want more customers. Is that correct? That's exactly what I need. For example, Jim, if we could set up a marketing plan for you that can bring you more customers, that can increase your revenue so that you can build that college fund for your children. And you receive that excitement in your life that you're looking for. Jim, is that what we can do for you today? Absolutely. And this 4th one, and you're going to say, Carrie, why would you ever ask that question? You know what happens when someone feels like they can't get what you want? I want you to think about this for a moment. You're sitting in a brand new car at a car dealer. The seats wrap around you. The leather feels amazing. The steering wheel fits your hands like a glove. It's a 6-speed with a slap shift on it. You just drove it down the road and you were hitting about 95 in about 4 seconds. Everything was going well. You rolled down the windows. You could hear the wind blowing by the car. You wanted that car so bad that you could taste it. It was exactly what you wanted. It fulfilled every dream you ever had. That's the car you wanted. And you step out of the car, and what does he say? What does the sales rep say? John, let's go in and see if you qualify. It's like, man, I've got to be something special to get this. I've got to qualify for this. John, you want to build your business. You need more customers and you need, it's a Bugatti. Absolutely, brother. Woke up in my Bugatti. Absolutely. John, you said you wanted more customers. Is that correct? Absolutely. And you need more revenue in order to build your business. Is that correct? Absolutely. John, provided you qualify for the program we have. And what did you just do to John? What did you just do to him? He's thinking, holy cow, man. What do you mean by qualify? John, I only take on X amount of customers a year because I want to make sure I give the utmost quality service to my clients. So I have to make sure that it's a good match for you and a good match for me. Now, John, everything I've heard you say, everything I've heard you do, everything we've talked about, I think we're going to get exactly where we need to go. And provided everything else falls into place, I think, and I feel very confident about this, John, that we're going to be able to make this deal. Now, what's in John's mind right now? I've got to have this. I can't let this slip away. I have got to qualify this. This guy is this is my man. This is my woman. They're the ones that's going to take me to the next level. This is the person I want helping me to control my business matters so that I can get exactly where I need to go. I've got to have Carrie. I don't want anybody else. I don't want some half-wit to come in here and do a halfway job. I've got to have him. So you've put something in his mind. It's not doubt. It's just enough excitement to say, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure I qualify to have him as my marketing consultant. You see, anybody can qualify for an app. Write me a check, right? I mean, anybody can buy an app, but he's not buying an app. Who's he buying? What's he buying? What's that client buying? He's buying you. He's buying your expertise. He's buying your direction. He's buying your consultations. And that's what he's going to write the big checks for. We're going to stop right there. And we're going to, because I want to get into just a little bit of 2.0. And next week, we're going to pick up on units of conviction and using the bridges. And you're going to see, and you're going to be amazed. And I know after this is the 7th week we've done this. And you're probably thinking to yourself, man, there's no way in the world I can do what Carrie's done this last 7 weeks. There's no way I can put this entire sales package together. What do I do that? Next week, we're going to bridges, everything together, and you're going to see that this is going to roll off just like water off a duck's back. It's going to be so conversational that you don't even realize that you're doing it. It's going to be amazing. I tell you, the first time I said in this training, I said, first off, I'm from Texas, and I don't talk that way. And you're probably saying, I'm from New Mexico, and I don't talk that way, or I'm from New York, and I don't talk that way, or I'm from New Zealand, and I don't talk that way, or I'm from Europe, and I don't talk. I'm going to tell you, all it is conversation and learning how to use it. So next week, we're going to go into unit of conviction and using the bridges to put the whole sales process together. Now, I'm fixing to slide my screen over. Is there any questions on the sales portion yet right now? Any questions at all on the sales portion? Ask now or forever hold your peace. Because we are going to get into 2.0. I've already built out a little piece of the app. We're not going to build a full app out. What I want to work on is this part of the canvas right here. Man, we've got a full house tonight. It's great to see everyone. We're going to work on the canvas right here. I want to make sure this switches over. Okay, there we go. Everything should be switched over. I call this my canvas. And I look at building these apps like I'm an artist. And that's how I feel about it. I want my apps, number one. Chris Yago says, sold, I'll take it. I want my apps to look like something that I created in an art studio. So when I sit down and I start building my apps, I look at it as at a canvas. And sometimes, believe it or not, just like an artist, I will walk away from the canvas because my creative thought process is just not where I want it to be. And this is an app I just built just the other day. A matter of fact, I redesigned it today because I didn't like it. And I wanted to do something special for the customer. He sent me this new logo, and we did something completely different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I've already got the logo loaded. I put some buttons in, and these don't go to anything. It's just a demo, okay? And I'm going to come in and I'm fixing to work on my canvas. And I'm fixing to go through, and like an artist who picks up his paintbrush, I'm going to start designing my app. Now we're going to go straight to styles and colors. And get this to load up. And I'm going to go to advanced. This drags just a little bit because of bandwidth. And I'm going to come down here, and the only thing I'm going to be concerned about, and we're just going to do this on this training today, is my main links. Now, up here, and I use the pre-made links. Now, you don't have to use the pre-made links. You can use anything you want. But my pre-made link of choice, I actually have a couple. I use this one here. I use the circles. I use the double circles. But here lately, this has been my canvas. I love this layout and what I can do with it. So I'm going to come in, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this color right here. You can see that you can set up multiple colors. I'm going to go into settings, and I'm going to change those. I'm going to remove all of these. And I'm going to come up and I'm going to select this red, and I'm going to use ColorZilla to select this red color right here. And I'm going to add that. And I'm going to make that my border color. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring that border out a little bit. I'm going to bring it across the top, okay? Just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to leave that just like it is. I'm going to bring this down here. This is what I want to do here. I want to bring that down, and I'm going to bring this radius over here. And I'm going to bring this bottom radius up here, okay? Now I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to take my icon box, and I'm going to completely get rid of it, okay? I'm going to remove. Now I'm going to make this black. I'm going to remove this gray, and I'm going to add black. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this border radius, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to make my border size. And let's say we're going to make the top left about, let's see here, let's watch it. We're going to make it a 6, and we're going to make the bottom a 6. And now I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to set up my radiuses. So I'm going to make my bottom radius. I'm going to bring it all the way around. I'm going to take my top left radius, and I'm going to bring it all the way around. And now I've made a really cool design And I can kind of come up here and I can look at the logo and I can say, okay, he's got some nice curves and his helmet looks really cool. And I'm going to pull off a little bit of the helmet design. And you can make the radius whatever you want. And now I'm going to come down and I'm going to pick my icon. Well, I've got red here and black here. So let's go ahead and get a nice red icon. And set up the red icon. Now I've got my red icon. Now I've got this piece of the canvas over here. And I really want everything to kind of flow together. Now, something I like to do, and I've just started doing it, when I come to the text content box, is I love manipulating it a lot, okay? So I'm going to take the color completely out of it. There's going to be no color on my background. Now, I'm going to add some border. Let's see, I'm going to add a bottom right radius. And I'm going to add that border in there. And I'm going to make this, let me remove this. And let me make it black. Okay. And border size, I'm going to make it, let's see here. Let's play with it just a little bit. I'll make it a 3. And then I'm going to come up here to my, let me come over here and put a right border on. And I'm going to make it a 3. Now, what I want to do is I'm fixing to come in here and I'm going to manipulate this just a little bit. Oops, that kind of come up too much. I want to make that a 3. Now, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put me some radius on here. Okay. And I'm going to, on my bottom left, I'm going to bring that up all the way. And then I'm going to come over here to the, let's see here. I've got bottom right. So let's take the bottom right and let's bring it all the way up. And let's come up here to the top left or top right. And I'm going to bring that down. And now you can see with my paintbrush that I've come in and I've really done some cool artwork. And I'm able to make these buttons extremely unique. I want you to think about this. You could make 1,000 buttons, 1,000 different ways for 1,000 different apps and never, ever, ever have the same design. Never. I mean, I could take off the bottom and make the top, use it as the top and put a top radius on. I could take off the right and put it over on the left. I could change this up 100 different ways just on this one app. Now let's come down to the text. Now I've got a red side. I've got red icons. So I want to make my text black. So I choose black and I make my text black. Now I could come in and I could put a background in this. And matter of fact, the one I did before this had a motorcycle in it. And the guy wanted a little more. He wanted it. He liked the curves that I put in there, but he didn't like the motorcycle in the background. And he just had this new logo built and designed. And he asked me to change that up. So I did. And so when I did that, when I put the new logo in, I completely recreated the app. And so I come down now and I've got my social media links. And of course, you can put the social colors in. But I like everything. I'm a matching freak. I want my colors to match perfectly. Sometimes I could spend 30 minutes color picking, making sure the colors are perfect, exactly what I want. So now we all know that to me, I don't put any text down here because everybody knows what Facebook is, Twitter is, and Google Plus is. So let me take the text off. Now I just have to deal with what? Somebody's got a question here. Yeah, the text is 333. Black is 00000. I just didn't want to go in and change it. Thank you, Kenny. The black is 0000000, and that's really not a black. It's 333333, which is just a shade above black. It's actually just a little bit gray. But that color was already in there, so I didn't want to go in and change it. So here we go with our icons. Well, I'm going to make my icon what? I want to make it this red color. just because it'll match. Does everybody see me color picking that? And I make my icons red. Now I can come in and I can make my background color for Kenny Dutton. I'm going to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to make them black. Now we've got everything matching up. The social media icons match. The radius and everything is matched up. The icons here are matched up with the red. We've put a border on the outside here and set that up and put some radius on that. And now if you look at this, now this is where I come up with my concepts. I look at the logos. Can you see how the right side of the motorcycle comes up here? That's the reason I didn't put this border on the top. I wanted to pick up on that same radius and make this outside radius of the motorcycle to kind of match up, to kind of, you know, give it all the same angles and to do all the same kind of things. And the same thing with this over here. You see how the black comes up right here? It goes from red to black. That's why I made this red and I brought this angle up and this black. It's because right here you see a red and the black around. And it's just how I design my apps. Totally different. Like when I do my app, I'll go back to what I look at it as a canvas. And I've got a paintbrush, and I'm going to tell you, I can't draw a stick man. I have absolutely zero artistic skills in my entire body. I do good to write, okay? My mother told me when I was growing up, I would make a great pharmacist because my writing is terrible. No one can understand my name, but what I do have a great mind of doing is conceptualizing and seeing visually what I want to do. Now, I don't have to sit here and manually draw these angles and all of the things that I do. I've got a computer that does it for me. All I have to be able to do is start at the top. And that's what I love about Instant App Wizard. You know what? There are a lot of programs in the market. Let me tell you something. I've tried probably 50 of them. And they're all extremely difficult. With Instant App Wizard, it's point and click simple. I start at the top. And I get my settings, okay, and I set my color. Then I go to my icon box, and for Kenny Dutton, I'm going to change this. I'm going to actually make that black, Kenny. Okay, and I set my my icon box up. I mean, it says right here, settings, icon box. Then I'm going to set my icon up, okay. And see, I can even come in and put some border on the icons. Maybe I just want to put a little red border around that. I wouldn't, but you could. Okay. I don't like that, so I would not do that. So let me take it completely out. Okay. So I've set up my icon. Now I'm going to go down and I'm going to set up my text content box. And I'm going to set my colors and I'm going to do everything I do. And I'm going to sit here and this is how I do it. Okay. And you'll do it just a little bit different, but this is how I do it. I'm going to come in and I'm going to start playing with these radiuses. And I'm going to look at my artwork and I'm going to say, okay, I want to do it just like this. And I sit here and I move these around. Now, let me tell you something real quick about border radiuses. And I just learned this the other day the hard way. Your border radiuses have to match up, okay? They have to match up. It can't be a 3 and a 6, okay? It has to be a 3 and a 3. If they don't match up, it doesn't work on an Android phone. If it doesn't match up, it will work on an iPhone, but it will not work on an Android phone. So make sure your numbers match up. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to say, okay, what color do I want my text? And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to do my social media buttons. And at that point right there, and I'm not going to do the footer today. I just want to focus on the canvas. And I'm done building my app. It took me 2 seconds to upload my logo. It took me what? Less than 10 minutes to get all my angles and stuff exactly where I wanted them. So don't be afraid to play with this system. The styles and colors, for some reason, freak people out. Think of it as this. You're an artist. You're walking into your room. The canvas is laid out before you, and you walk over to your color palette, and you say, okay, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to work my way down to here, and when I'm done, I have a work of art that someone is going to pay me handsomely for, and I'm going to go collect a check. And because this work of art is so good, because it looks so good and my customer is so excited, I'm going to get some referrals and I'm going to go sell 10 more of those. And believe it or not, this app that I just showed you, this app right here, created 4 sales today. I've already got 3 of them in my inbox. This app right here created 4 sales today. Some of you are saying, Kerry, is it that simple? Yes, it is. It is that simple. I'm not a computer nerd. I struggle doing things. But this I can do. Why? Because it's 1, 2, 3. Think about it. Do it. Move the buttons. Do exactly what you want to do. Get where you want to go. And guess what? You just fulfilled your want. You wanted a good-looking app. You needed a good-looking app. Why? Because you needed to go out and make a sale today. You have the want you need, and how does it make you feel when you've got a good-looking app and you go out and make that sale? I will tell you right now, I can roll right through here. About 15 people answered me a while ago. It makes me feel great. It makes me feel like a winner. It makes me feel like I accomplished something. It makes me feel like I attained my goal for the week. I mean, it's you know, it makes me feel awesome. And that's how it makes you feel. Every time I design an app and someone, and I have customers call me all the time and say, man, thank you. Thank you for doing such a fabulous job. I take a lot of pride in what I do. That's why I put the effort in it I do, and I hope you do too. And that's your outcome. Your beautiful Monet has now been painted. It's time to take that Monet and go hang it on a wall. And once that Monet's on that wall and everybody walks by, they want Kerry to paint them a Monet. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Let me flip over here my screens real quick because I want to close with this. We'll go ahead and close this out completely. And I need to come back to screen share. And I need to pick up this right here. And that should come back up. Next week, do not miss next week's training. I'm telling you, do not miss next week's training. We're going to have Jack Hopman on board. His knowledge of websites, the product that he has created, what he has done for the website industry is absolutely phenomenal. And what we're going to have for you next week is even more phenomenal. It's great. He's going to be our special guest, and I look forward to having him. I look forward to him being here, and I've been talking to him all evening, and what a great guy he is, and I think you're going to enjoy every single minute of what he has to say, and I can promise you, you're going to love what he has to show you in building websites. We've had so many people asking him about websites and wanting to add websites to their arsenal, but they couldn't build them. I can promise you after next week, You do not have that problem anymore. I can guarantee it. You will not have that problem. We got a couple of questions coming in here. Do not miss next week. Special guest Jack Hopman is going to be in the seat. I haven't been able to not have the footer previous and home on the home page, but I have it on other pages. I have it there when I'm designing. I don't put the footer on the home page. I don't put it on any home page. Thank you. Thank you, Andy. Andy said that was beautiful. Thank you so much. When you're going to tell us when are you going to tell us how to, I'm working on that. I should have the Hangouts thing out very soon. Thanks, Carrie. Another great job. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Man, I tell you what, Chris, I love coming to you guys every week. This is one of the most exciting things in my life. I goes to show you what my life is. This is the most exciting thing I do right here. But no, I mean it from my heart. I love coming and showing and sharing. And I hope what I give you guys is something you can use tomorrow, not because I did it, so you can go make a sale. So you can go make a sale. So you can go to bed at night and know that you had 8 deals hit your inbox. How do you not have the footer on homepage but on the other? I don't put the footer on the homepage. I don't put the footer on the homepage at all. I put it on every page except the homepage. I've already closed out that window, so I'll show you all that next time. But I don't put the footer on the homepage. I put it on every other page. I have it on the homepage there. I have it turned on so I can see it when I design it, so I know exactly what it's going to look like on the other pages. I hope that answers your question. Any other questions before we wrap it up? There's one right there. Excellent as the norm goes. Have a great rest of the week. Thank you, David Craiglow, man. I think we're going to have to build us a Noah's Ark. We got more rain coming. I turn it on. I have it turned on when I'm building the app. Oh, you want to know how you turn it off? Hang on a second. Let me go back in there. Give me 1 second here, and I'm going to go back in, and I'll close off with this. How you turn it on and off. Let me log in here. I hope I can find it. I'm going to log back in, and I'll show you how you do that. What a world. I hear you, brother. I'm logging back into the system right now. Log in. And I'm going to go to this app. And let me refresh the screen here. I need to reshare. And I'm going to share this screen right here. Okay, how do you turn on and off the footer bar? And you can see it's on right now. I'm going to go to General Settings. Yeah, no kidding. Somebody said, good thing you was in the Navy. You're going to need that traded. And I'm going to come up here to header and footer. I'm going to go to footer. And that's the title bar. And I go to title bar settings. And right here it says show title bar on all pages, only home page, only sub pages, or none. When I'm done building, when I'm building my app, I put it on home all pages. When I'm done, I put it on only. And be yes. Yeah. You see this next week. Ready that you're going to be able to add software. You're going to be any more at all before we say it? Anybody? With three gentlemen, tell you that that's meeting more than coming go everybody for coming. We're gonna have. Thank you for your hard work, for being a training. What's the, yeah, I can see me. Okay,